Alrighty, welcome back to another video. Today is August 11th, 2026. We got a live stream here, and we have a tornado warning that just got issued for southern DuPage County into southern Kane County here, back into Will County. We do have a tornado warning, radar indicated. We are looking at a big squall line moving in to the Chicagoland area here. Straight line winds, we have all sorts of threats on the board here. We're looking at sustained 75 to upwards of 80 mph winds. Tornado warning again issued here. This is what they're looking at. A little couplet here. This is where we could see maybe a weak QCLS tornado. That is a weak tornado that happens when you got this wall of wind pushing this way and you have a little bit of shear here where it spins up just a small tornado. Sometimes they're not even noticeable because you already have the damaging winds behind it. You have winds here near Waterman, near Hankley. We got winds of 82 miles per hour. And then this tornado here, it's not looking like anything yet, but obviously there's signs of rotation. Um, on top of that, we got over here by Genoa and Sycamore, we got winds upwards of 82, upwards of 85. We had some reports almost of 90 out here near Davenport in Iowa here. But main concern right now, we have a tornado warning here. This affects a lot of people. We got Aurora, Naperville, Downers Grove, Woodridge, Bolingbrook, Lamont, Romeoville, Plainfield, pretty much right over the National Weather Service here. This is going to be not, you don't have to get down yet, but it's coming. The time is coming soon. We had a little disturbance here right before the initial line. Nothing crazy, just some rain in this. We saw a bunch of storms start to fire up behind it, or actually in front of it here in Iowa. We are seeing a bunch of big hail with this, a bunch of actually baseball-sized hail here near Knox, Indiana. I mean, that's pretty big, but that is really big. But that's not what we're concerned about here. This wall of wind is just pushing east at highway speeds, and now we are starting to see some hail reports, which tells me that it actually is getting the storms are getting higher up in the atmosphere. Give me 1 second here. I gotta make sure all my audio stuff is right. There we go. All right, we're all good here. We are. All right, so I'm now a little bit concerned about this because this is. I'm gonna go back and look at how it's progressing so far. So originally there was a little bit of what I thought would be maybe some rotation in here, in a line here. That all kind of buffed out, but now we're actually there's kind of two couplets here. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another warning issued here. There is another. So with these big squall lines that push east, and with the heavy winds behind it, it's not like a traditional tornado where you'll see your greens on one side and your reds on the other side. It's kind of just green and white or green and blue or yellow and red depending on which way the wind's moving. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if they issued another tornado warning here. We could be looking at maybe some rotation out here near Caneville. I'd have to say North Aurora, Aurora, Sugar Grove. This is your time to start getting down. Nothing confirmed yet. No hail with this. Actually, there are some. I think our tornado sirens are going off now. I can hear something in the distance. Kind of weird that they would issue a tornado warning before a severe thunderstorm warning. Don't know what that's about. Yeah, we do have rotation here. Oswego, there is rotation near Oswego. I'm gonna pause this really quick. There is most definitely rotation right here near Oswego. Um, this is gonna be pushing east. Bolingbrook, Romeoville, you guys are in the path. And then on top of that, I wouldn't be surprised if there was maybe some more spin-ups, especially out here near North Aurora, probably all the way up to Pingree Grove. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a spin-up or two. But main threat right now, this actually is kind of wrapping. I'm a little bit concerned about this. This is definitely starting to wrap. Um, Good thing is it's kind of moving out of the extreme population. It's definitely still moving into populated areas, but out of extreme population. These winds here near Sugar Grove, they should upgrade this severe thunderstorm warning. This should be an 80 mile per hour destructive threat severe thunderstorm warning. This really should get upgraded. If your phones start going off here, I wouldn't be surprised if this one that they issue for DuPage County and for Will County and for Cook County here in Lake, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, I would say more of an isolated 80 mile per hour. So still no, we got an update here, but nothing confirmed yet. Definitely is wrapping. Sugar Grove here. These are very very strong winds. These are almost 90. This should be upgraded. This needs to be upgraded really soon. We're looking at almost 90 mile per hour winds here near Sugar Grove, and these straight line winds are going to be coming right into Naperville, right into Aurora, right into Woodridge, right into Darien, Downers Grove, Lyle. You guys got to be ready here. This I'm more concerned about this right now than I am of the tornado. I'm gonna be honest. 90 mile per hour winds or a brief funnel cloud. The 90 mile per hour winds will take the cake any day. But I'm still a little bit concerned here. Not so we haven't got an update refresh or model refresh in a while here. They are updating this tornado warning a lot. And there we go. Severe thunderstorm warning. This should be destructive. There we go. We got a destructive threat here. We have an 80 mile per hour destructive threat, severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be issued for Oakbrook Terrace, Villa Park, Lombard, Glen Ellen, West Chicago, anywhere south of there. We're looking. There's the sirens. So those sirens actually aren't because of the tornado. Those are sirens because of the destructive threat with the wind here, with the 80 mile per hour destructive threat. That is because of 80 miles per hour. I'm sorry, my phone's gonna be going off here. 80 mile per hour destructive threat. Not time to get down yet. You don't have to. Um, Anywhere here, you guys gotta get down. I mean, Downers Grove, Woodridge, Bolingbrook, you guys need to be prepared. This is coming in quick. This is racing east very, very fast. I gotta look really quick. This is gonna be racing east at 50 miles an hour. This is dangerous situation here. Very dangerous. Could be deadly if you're caught without shelter. This is wrapping. This is going to be a tornado soon. There is going to be a tornado near Oswego. This is going to be pushing east. This is going to be going to Romeoville, Bolingbrook, Lamont, and Homer Glen. On top of that, there is destructive winds here near Aurora. Still no word on the confirmed tornado. I apologize if you hear the tornado sirens going off here. But yeah, we have a destructive threat. Obviously, there's still more chances for tornadoes. This is scaring me a little bit. This line here is starting to push off, kind of like a bow echo. That's what we see a lot here. I haven't checked reflectivity in a while. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, Oswego is gonna get it. We're gonna see it really bad here in Oswego. There's gonna be a tornado here. My maps aren't loading. There we go. All right, so velocity wise, yeah, right here, Oswego is taking pretty much a direct hit. I mean, if there's not a tornado here yet, there will definitely be one. I mean, this is insane. Sugar Grove is going to be a direct hit. Aurora is going to be a direct hit. This is lagging my thing out, so I'm going to get out of this here. And then so no confirmation yet in the tornado still. Definitely there's a lot of rotation here. You got think about it. You got 90 mile per hour winds crossing with almost -6, which means it's going the opposite direction pretty much. I mean that's just a recipe for a tornado to happen here. Um, Man, this is not a good situation. So we got the sirens. They're gonna be going off for pretty much the duration of this warning. Oh man, this is not a good situation here. So the rest of this area, has a possible tornado tag here. 70-mile-per-hour wind, damaging threat. Pretty much the basic stuff you'd see with the squall line. I'm way more concerned about Oswego here, especially once we get a new refresh, which should be anytime now. This is worrying me. And Naperville, Aurora, it's probably too late for Aurora. North Aurora, I mean, by now it's probably got to be past North Aurora by now on the line here. Um, yeah, this is not a good situation. Keep updating this. Still no confirmed tornado, which is good to hear. They did so there still is that destructive threat. There's the latest okay, so that is good. That is really good. There is a little bit of a break. The rotation isn't that crazy anymore. Um, what I don't like is that there's a few other spots now. That's not good. And then we're also seeing these winds like in excess of 70 still, and these are gonna be pushing east. There's a This is a big, 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 big wind pocket here. I mean, this is gonna be what you're gonna see on the news. I I'm trying to get a view of this while still, watching, or while still, doing the live stream. But kind of hard here because the window placement. But again, this wind is gonna be insane here. On top of that, flash flooding is gonna be very imminent as soon as the rain starts. These storms, they are reaching up in the atmosphere. I mean, these things are way, way up there. So this tornado warning is honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was allowed to expire soon. I think the destructive winds are going to be, the main threat here. I do, yeah. So Plainfield, they're going to be a direct hit. A little bit of rotation still, nothing crazy right here near us, just east of Oswego. Um, these this is starting to push off though, which I don't like. Think of it as something hits a wall and then it bounces right off of it. So that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see these winds start to bounce off, and we'll probably see a bit more destructive winds, especially in this destructive thunderstorm warning with that 80-mile-per-hour warning. Um, I think so. Yeah, that's still 70 tornado possible. There should be a shelf cloud with this, I would assume. I can't go look, but I would have to assume that there would be a shelf cloud here. Uh, we're lucky. Actually, we are starting to see a lot of these cells develop. I'm gonna go to 21 frames just to show you guys what we've seen so far today. So we've seen a bunch of storms start to pop off here, and then we've seen this. I'm actually gonna go back farther. I'm gonna go to 50 frames here. Another update on the warning. Still radar indicated, nothing confirmed yet. We did get an update here, but I just want to show you guys like what has happened so far today. We saw these storms start to pop off here in northern Indiana. We also saw a bunch of storms start to fire off here. This was a continuation of last night's MCS. That is pretty much what we had pushed into Iowa, and then we saw it move into a very favorable environment, which it just kind of exploded. I mean, this is, and then even on top of that, we did see some cells start to try to fire off here. That would lead us to more of a hail tornado threat, but now it's just damaging winds. There looks to be a little bit more rotation on the high res reflectivity here. Yeah, right here near Plainfield, a little bit of rotation still. Not nothing crazy. Um, damaging winds here. Yeah, there are some very strong winds in here. I wouldn't say 102. I would say maybe 85 to 90. And that would be coming for Bolingbrook, Romeoville, Plainfield, Naperville, Woodridge, Downers Grove, Lamont. You guys are going to be right in the track of this. This is going to be coming in quick, very quick. Um, in terms of us here in Central DuPage County, this is a little bit of rotation. Maybe could start here. I don't think it's a big deal. Damaging winds still is going to be the big deal. Hail is not that crazy for us. That is more of a down south thing. I'm not sure if the sirens are still going off. I don't think they should be. This destructive threat here did get downgraded. It actually no, it didn't. Did it? Huh. So it did not get downgraded yet. I think it should be shifted, not downgraded. I think it should be cut off right about here. You probably take it out of, I believe this is Kane County here. You probably take it out of that. Um, leave it here, especially all this. This is, I mean, we could see this go on for pretty much the next hour or so. Um, just waiting on these models to refresh. It's been kind of slow. Oh, I apologize. I gotta take this out of 50 frames, put it in 7 or 14 here. There we go. All right, so the model's refreshing. The radar refresh has been kind of slow today. I'm very sorry about that, but not much I can do about it. So south, for southern DuPage County and northern Will County, it's gonna be hard to see anything in this area, just because of the rain and the clouds that have already been there. But Batavia, Geneva, out here up to by Elgin, South Elgin, Wayne, all the way down here. Oh, another tornado warning. We have another tornado warning here. We're going to see what this is about. That is a big tornado warning. I'd assume it's just because of the line. There's the latest model. All right, so not sure. Yeah, this is honestly, this is what I like to call just a preparation tornado warning. That's just because there's a big line. I mean, and there's a bunch of spots where there could be rotation here, there could be rotation here, here. I mean, there's a bunch of spots where there could be rotation. It's not saying there's a tornado warning, like imminent. There's not a tornado on the ground. It's just that it's for precaution. Back up by us here, by Plainfield. This is gonna be. They are getting hammered. I mean, absolutely pummeled. They're gonna get hammered by these storms. This is gonna be something we're gonna see on the news probably in a few hours. Um, in terms for us here in DuPage, not looking terrible. Not looking like we're gonna see the worst of the worst. I still think that anywhere in this tornado warning, I would have to say, I'm gonna draw this box here. Anywhere in this box here is where we're gonna see. Oh, tornado warning for DuPage County. Sirens are gonna be going off here. We have a tornado warning issued for DuPage County. I believe it was the rotation I was talking about earlier. I don't see what else they'd be looking at. It would have to be this. It would. That's the only thing I can think of. All right, so we do got the phones going off here. I apologize if that's loud. I'll try to turn it. I tried to turn it down. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This is what I think they're talking about. Maybe rotation out by Winfield. I will check and see what they have to say about it. Severe thunderstorm capable straight line winds located over Warrenville near Wheaton. So yeah, this is what they're talking about. This isn't as impressive as what we saw with the Plainfield one. Could there be a little bit of rotation in this spot? Yes, for sure. Upwards here, not really. I'm more concerned about this now than I am out here by Plainfield. This is more damaging wind. I'm a little bit more concerned. Yeah, out here by Wheaton. In the track of this would be, and there's the tornado warning. We do have the tornado warning here. That's kind of late. There goes the sirens outside. And by the way, make sure people right about now, if you share this live stream, you make sure everybody's looking, you make sure everybody's on it. Just make sure you share the live stream. But I do want to, I try my best to help people be prepared. We have a bunch of tornado warnings here. We have 3 tornado warnings extending in a line, and this is moving into very, very populated areas of DuPage County, Will County, and this is there's rotation here. I mean, straight up, there's just rotation. We'll see how this plays out. In my opinion, not looking at anything crazy. Just give me one quick second here. I'm gonna go look out the front window. I just want to see what's going on for myself. I'll be back in about 15 seconds. Alrighty, so I am right back. There's definitely now for sure rotation here. Um, this I this there's a bunch of spots actually. So I think there's multiple spots of rotation. There is rotation right here. This is concerning me just because of the red and the light blue slash white. This could have potential to be kind of tight, kind of wrap up here. Still nothing confirmed. Just radar indicated. This is wrapping. Please spread this live stream to everybody you know. There's multiple spots of rotation. Everybody's in the track here. In the track of these storms, we have Lyle, Wheaton, Glen Ellen, Oakbrook Terrace, Oakbrook, Hinsdale, Downers Grove, and there are multiple spots of rotation. There are multiple rotation couplets. This one's just starting. There's one definitely near Carroll Stream. This is going to be Glen Ellen, Glendale Heights, Glen Ellen, um, pretty much north of Glen Ellen. Um, Wheaton, Winfield. This is where we're going to kind of see the border drawn. So Glen Ellen, Glendale Heights, Addison, Villa Park, Elmhurst, Bentonville. You guys are all in the track of this. This one's just still more concerning. Trying to look at the chat here. Lombard is not for now. We're looking at definitely rotation over Lombard or near Lombard for sure. Doesn't mean that there's going to be a tornado on the ground. This is going to be, I believe. All right, so we are starting to see it clear out, which is really good. This helps train spotters. This helps pretty much everybody see what's going on. Hopefully, the people ahead, they can see if there's a tornado, see the the clouds coming down, see all sorts of stuff. But definitely rotation here, waiting for it to upload again, waiting for it to refresh. Multiple spots of rotation out down here near Plainfield. There's the tornado warning here. This is pretty much all that we expected. And this reminded me when I saw it this morning, when I saw it yesterday, when I looked at it, it just reminded me of August 10th, 2020, when we had a derecho. We had a big derecho, and it started pretty much in the same spot, pushed the same direction. I mean, this is just deja vu. I mean, I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was in 2020, but it's definitely gonna be pretty bad. With that being said, if my power does go out, my live stream will end, and I do apologize. I have no control over that again, but if it goes out, I'm sorry. So no refreshes yet. By now, I have to say the storm is definitely moving over 355. The storm is definitely about to cross 355. If not, it's very close. People driving, make sure you get somewhere, even like just some sort of shelter. Even if you get into a Target, a Walmart, a Costco, just get into some sort of shelter. It's more dangerous to be in a car than it is to be sitting in a ditch. You're safer sitting in a ditch as low as you can to the ground than you are in a car because a car will. Oh man, there is lots of rotation here. So we just got the latest refresh. There is lots of rotation. Downers Grove. There is rotation over Downers Grove. Definitely some sort of couplet here. Not a strong tornado. I mean, this is wow. It's just it is crazy outside. It is just it's perfectly still. It is insane. I mean, that is wow. Rotation over Lombard. This is gonna be over Lombard here. We are looking at definitely rotation. Maybe a funnel cloud here. Somewhere in this area there is at least a funnel cloud, and then we just saw this warning get expanded here. Um, Lyle is. I think that's where it's going to be at. I think Lyle is where we're going to see maybe a brief EF0. If this doesn't progress, so yeah, I'd have to say Lombard, Villa Park, Addison, Glendale Heights, Lyle, Downers Grove, Oakbrook Terrace, Oakbrook, Hinsdale. It's time to get down. I can't get down, but it's fine. Doing what I'm doing. I recommend everybody just have your safe spot ready for when it starts. And I think that once you guys start, you guys know we're old enough to know when it's time to get down. When you see the wind start picking up, you got to get downstairs. You got to find a safe spot. Um, this is coming in quick. This is coming in real quick. I'm gonna see if it's still progressing at 50. So 55 now. So it's actually picking up speed. Like I said with that brick, bouncing off the wall comparison. It hits the wall, bounces right off of it. It kind of forces you back the other way. Um, man, it is still outside. I am going to look out my window. Oh man, it is just still. I mean, it is insane. Tornado warning just did get shrunk. It got shrunk to I believe like just west of the I-355. Yeah. So this did get shrunk. Uh, let's see if they updated anything about what they're talking about. Tornado warning remains in effect. A severe squall. Yeah. So wind damage. An extensive line of producing was located over Oakbrook. So yeah, this is over Oakbrook. This is Downers Grove. This is definitely there is rotation. I mean, over Oakbrook, now is the time to get down. I mean, now this wind is going to start picking up very, very quick. I'm not sure if you guys can, if you guys have any pictures, make sure to send it to me because I can't see anything. I mean, it is dark out. It's still, man, that's crazy. I do hear the wind start picking up here. Hear the rain. Um, again, if my power goes out soon, I'm sorry. All right, latest refresh. There's rotation. There's rotation. Downers Grove, Westmont, Oakbrook, right here. There's rotation there. There is. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody sees a funnel cloud. This is just a crazy setup. And man, Homer Glen, Lockport, New Lenox, they are getting pummeled. Oh man. I'm gonna look and see if I can see anything just starting to rotate on here. Not really. All right, here's the wind starting to pick up. Yep, the winds are starting to pick up. If my power goes out, oh, I'm sorry. Show the cameras. I got you guys. Here's the outdoor cameras. I'm sorry if there's any ads or anything. So there's the ad. I'm just gonna let that play out here. So here's the rain coming down. Wind is starting to pick up. It's gonna get pretty gnarly out there pretty soon. So This is the city of Chicago. This is Midway. You guys can, whoa. You guys can see, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but there is a little, whoa, there's lightning. Y'all see that? So this is the big one all the way on the right is the sky deck. This is looking west. This is looking down to 90. Oh man, it is getting wild out there. My power's gonna go out soon probably, but I'm gonna do this for as long as I can. Tornado warning still in effect. This is gonna be in effect for a while. Definitely couplet. Definitely rotation. Possibly a funnel over Downers Grove and Westmont. This is where you guys need to start getting down. Definitely a line, a little segment where there could be rotation. From Glendale Heights all the way down to Oak Brook. It is getting crazy out there right now. And on top of, all this, got the tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, wind, all of that. Hail is not crazy, but still, the rain is actually going to be a big threat here. These rain totals are going to be crazy. I believe we're already looking at some upwards of almost 5 inches in north central Illinois. I mean, it's just. And on top of that, more storms this week. All sorts of crazy weather is going on for the rest of the week. So no refresh lately. I'm gonna go back to the Chicago camera here. Um, yeah, you guys can't really see anything, but yeah, still no updates here. Just want to talk about what we're gonna see for the rest of the week there, and what's going on, big threats. But on top of, other than that, I mean, there's still a little bit of rotation here. Um, we'll have to see. We'll wait until it refreshes again. There we go. There's the okay. Wow, yeah, there is a bunch of spots where there could be rotation. This is just a whole mix of all sorts of everything. So there could be rotation right here. There could be rotation down here near Hinsdale. There's a bunch of spots. It's good that they're all tornado warned. This is like what I was talking about, the precautionary tornado warning. It's not that there's one specific spot where there's a giant tornado on the ground. It's that there's a whole line where there could be a bunch of small tornadoes, and it just makes it easier on the National Weather Service and even people to be ready so they know, hey, we're gonna maybe see a tornado. Get ready for it just in case. So the rain and the wind is picking up. We we aren't gonna get the worst of it, which is very good to hear. Our friends a little bit farther south, they cannot say the same. I'd have to say this whole area here, they got hammered. I mean, they got freaking pounded. They got I would not rule out maybe a 90 to 100 mile per hour wind gust somewhere in that area. These other thunderstorm warnings should be allowed to expire pretty soon. We got very, very lucky here. If we were farther down in this area, I mean, this is typically where we see the worst of the worst is in this little corridor here. We usually see the south suburbs get it way worse. So I'm still waiting on this to refresh again. So the rain, it is pouring out there. Again, looking at the reflectivity here. There is, I mean, this is all heavy rain. You can see the lightning, but this is just mainly just downpours here in this area. Gonna go back to the city cameras. So you can't really see the clouds yet, as they're not that close to the city yet. But you should be able to see some lightning. So we got the top left one is gonna be right off of the lake, downtown. Bottom left is going to be at Midway Airport. Top right is going to be on the sky deck on the Sears Tower. Looking west, down 290. I'm going to go back to the radar. So now it looks like we're just getting heavy rain and a little bit of wind. So here's the latest refresh still. Um, just a whole usually when you get, a bunch of when you get a big spot where there could be one tornado, even if you get a tornado, it's not going to be crazy strong. It's not like a supercell where it's just condensed on. Oh, we got this tornado warning just got extended here. Bunch of tornado warnings. And as you see, the wind up by us is kind of starting to die down a little bit. This area here is kind of losing energy, but as this progresses farther southeast, this I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it gains strength even. The environment for it is crazy favorable, and there's a bunch of spots where there could be rotation as well. Not gonna get into it. Orland Hills definitely some there, even right here. This whole thing. There's just a bunch of spots where there could be rotation, and then so here's the latest new refresh here. Um, Tornado wise, we're out of we're good. We're in the clear. Lombard, Addison, Elmhurst, Oakbrook Terrace, Downers Grove, Lyle, Wheaton, Glendale, Bloomingdale, Roselle, Carroll Stream, Wheaton. We're all out of the clear, or we're in the clear. I'm sorry. But now we just got a bunch of rain to go through. Yeah, so that tornado warning is allowed to expire, which is good. Bad news is it's moving directly into downtown Chicago. I do think that maybe it could get taken off. That destructive threat severe thunderstorm warning is also gone, which means that they lost confidence in there being, winds that are above 80, which is also very good. Um, there is still some crazy winds. Man, whoa. So we have I would actually, yeah, this actually should probably be destructive. Um, man, yeah, that should probably be a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Not sure why it's not or what the deal is with that. Other than that, we are pretty much good. Just a little bit of yeah. So I believe this. So we got 30 more minutes on the severe thunderstorm warning. I believe they could definitely shift it or change it just so it's not still active for areas that doesn't need to be active. I think that pretty much anywhere in this line here, we're good. DuPage County is good. Cook County is good. If you guys want to get off the live stream, you can. We're in the clear. Just lightning. Lightning also is pretty dangerous as well. Lightning could hit power lines or trees, all sorts of stuff. No tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings. Nothing crazy else is happening. I'm not sure. So they did. I'm gonna actually go back to the Chicago camera because it is starting to get a little bit closer. Should be in view. Yeah, you can kind of see. Okay, so Midway, you can see it at Midway. I want everybody to check out that camera in bottom left at Midway. Look at that. That is crazy. The Chicago one isn't. It's not nothing special. So we do have a lot of hail down south near Peatone, Mateo, Grant Park, um, Bourbonnais, Wilmington, Elwood, Manhattan. There it is. 90-mile-per-hour destructive. Wow. So there is a 90-mile-per-hour destructive severe thunderstorm warning on top of a tornado warning. Again, this is like what I said with this is the point where the severe thunderstorm warning is worse than the tornado. This is to the point where you got to be more worried about the severe thunderstorm warning and what's for sure going to happen, which is the strong winds, other than the tornado that might happen. Wow. So this is the same spot actually that got it real. There we go. That might be no. That figured that would be the end of the series. I'm warning here. Still 25 minutes on it. There are a bunch of spots where there could be rotation. Man, what a crazy system. This really is starting to remind me of August 10th, 2020. Um, this severe thunderstorm watch probably could be allowed to expire for anywhere west of this line here. I would have to say this is all, you don't need that anymore. Unless I didn't think that they had much confidence in there being more storms later. There could be. I'd have to look. I'm gonna look really quick just to see what we got going on later today. I know there was a chance for some more pop-up thunderstorms. So this is a 10 a.m. This is 11. You know, it's already moved through. Yeah, so not really for our area necessarily. That's way late tonight too. Yeah, I'd have to say we're good, and this probably just got updated. That should probably be taken off. Yeah, I'd have to say we're good for the rest of the day here. So there are. I'm gonna count really quick how many rotation spots there could be. So one, definitely two, three. So there could be three different spots for a rotation. This isn't as concerning. Not worried about that. Chicago should be pretty good, except for the strong winds and the rain. Mm. Oh, I was on the cameras this whole time. Holy crap. So yeah, this is what I was trying to talk about here. So rotation one. Oh, we got a refresh here. Rotate. Oh yeah, definitely rotation right here for sure near Homewood, Blue Island, Park Forest, just south of there. Um, a little bit more stronger winds starting to push into immediate Chicago. So this is just what we saw happen. I just want to show everybody what we saw happen here. I'm gonna go to about 75 frames, and I'll just take everybody through what we had. Um, I'll go reflectivity first, and then I'll go velocity. So I gotta let all this load. So we saw these start to pop up in Iowa here, and they started to form kind of a cluster. And then that's where we got that bow echo, where these winds started to push off, like I said, like the brick wall. And then there's where we see the real like strong bow echo, and this is where we're at now. So this is just pretty much the life of a squall line slash derecho. We'll see how this plays out rest of the day. Um, yeah, and I'll go to the velocity. So this is the winds. Darker yellows and reds are stronger winds, lighter blues and whites are very strong winds, just different directions. So this is where we see it start to enter the K lot radar view. So we got these strong winds, and then they really start to clump together here, and then this is where they just push off, like I was talking about, like the brick wall. Look at that; they just explode. Crazy system, crazy setup. Not, I mean, typical August system, pretty much. You see this a lot in August. Definitely, man, this should be. Oh, observed. We have an observed tornado on the ground. Yeah, I was just about to say. We have an observed tornado on the ground here. Hazelcrest, Homewood, East Hazelcrest, Thornton. Yeah, observed tornado on the ground. That's crazy. Wow, 100-mile-per-hour threat. Severe thunderstorm warning. This is the second one that we've had. And I think there's only been one or two issued. Wow. I want to look at this. This is crazy. Jeez. Yeah, that is a bad place to be. This area, I mean, they just get back to back to back, like every single storm that comes through this whole area here, man. We can't keep EF3, the 6-inch hail earlier in spring, the 100-mile-per-hour damaging winds back in July, and they got it just right now back again. I mean, that is crazy. This is wrapping up rather tight. This is where we start to see the tornadoes kind of right in here. So I think that anytime today, anytime soon, this severe thunderstorm warning should be allowed to expire. I'm gonna go back to Chicago cameras. Should be moving way closer in now. Whoa! 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 All right, this is crazy. I gotta take a screenshot of this. That is a wild shelf cloud. I just gotta wait for these ads to finish here. There we go. So that's live at Midway. Look at that shelf cloud. Wow. That is, and you can see it moving too. That is crazy. That is insane. I'm just gonna let this play for a little bit. Whoa, is that a funnel cloud? It's hard to tell off of this. No, that is so cool to see, man. That is awesome. So this thing is rapidly moving down the I-290 corridor. So there you got the big interchange there. So that's 290, and it looks to be backed up as per usual. A lot of cars are gonna be stuck in this rain, all this traffic. Tornado warning did get shifted again. I don't know why they won't just take this severe thunderstorm warning out. It's just National Weather Service doing National Weather Service stuff, I guess. The winds are starting to get stronger heading into Chicago. More upwards of like 60-ish, maybe 70, low 70s. Nothing like what we're seeing down here in Glenwood, where we're getting 120 miles an hour measured on radar. Absurd. This is one of the craziest thunderstorms with strong winds. This is the craziest non-tornado winds I've ever seen in my life. That is insane. And I've seen crazy stuff. Not even just Illinois. I've seen some crazy stuff like in North Dakota and Iowa. Some crazy. This is the craziest one I've ever seen. 120-mile-per-hour winds near Lansing and Thornton and Linwood and Sauk Village. That is gonna be a mess. There we go. They finally shifted that tornado warning. Oh wow, observed tornado still on the ground. This severe thunderstorm watch should be allowed to expire anytime soon. Uh, Severe thunderstorm warning has been taken away for our area. Like I've said about 15 minutes ago, we're good. We're into the clear. We're chilling. Gotta get this chat back here. There we go. Man. So this is what I'm talking about here. When I left it on the cameras, just to see that squall line push in, that is so cool. For anybody that's watching that is crazy, man. And then just look at the Chicago can. You can see it moving over, almost over Lake Michigan now. So this is what I'm talking about here. These are the craziest winds, non-tornado winds I've ever seen in my life. Almost 115-mile-per-hour non-tornado wind gusts. I would hope that this is classified as some sort of derecho, I guess. And why? There it is. All right, man. All right. Well, I think that'll probably do it for this video, this live stream. Probably just gonna watch, see. I mean, we're good. We're out of the we're out of the thick of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it quits here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. And thank you for everybody that shared it and everybody that watches. It really helps. Thank you for watching and.